So I'm here in lovely Boulder, Colorado at a WeWork, and I've got about a few more weeks on my WeWork contract. I would love to stay. They make it hard for me to leave. It's the people who staff WeWork. It's the spaces, very modern, up to date. It's the people even that I meet within the community here at WeWork too that makes it very hard for me to leave. I initially started WeWork just as I wanted to just do a month, just to get through those really, really hot days in July, and maybe some into August as well too. And they ended up making me a deal an offer I couldn't refuse. It was a 3-month deal for a very low price. So I said, you know what, I may as well do the full 3 months, and I've been loving it ever since. And I think their hope is that they get you in that 3 months and you just keep wanting to stay on, which I probably would do, but I've got goals. More than likely, what I'm leaning toward, eventually, maybe years down the road, I'd like to buy some land and build a tiny house on it. But I'm really enjoying this nomadic lifestyle right now. So I'm thinking the next thing I want to do, maybe this coming spring, is sell my van and buy a bigger van. So that's the goals, and that's why I'm letting WeWork go. I've got another 2 weeks, like I said, and then I'm back in the van. Working in the winter in the van, in the areas like when I was out traveling last year, I was in pretty moderate temperature places, with the exception of getting stuck in Austin, Texas. But for the most part, I was in moderate temperatures, and I could work in the van no problem. Whereas late July, being in my home base, stuck there for several months, I think it was nearly 5 months I was in my home base, just taking care of some business, helping Dad out, things like that. So with that, towards the latter part of July, it was just unbearable. There was a week or two of me working in the van where I ran it for like 9-10 hours straight. So I was spending money on gas just to keep it cool for AC. So I thought, maybe I need to rent a co-working space. And WeWork just was the best option. Now I tried to work at my home base, my address, but my buddy Chris doesn't believe in AC. So he has no AC in his house whatsoever, just fans. So I couldn't do that. And there's big dogs there and cats, Cats just love to, when you're sitting at a desk, cats just love to like crawl on your keyboard and things like that. And I sometimes do some video meetings and I can't have animals barking in the background and cats walking by the screen as I'm meeting with clients. So, thus working with the WeWork. Any rate, here in Boulder, Colorado, such a beautiful city. As I've been doing my travels over the last several months, I've been thinking of different places that I can see myself living. When I talk about my goal later on, having a tiny house, I'd like to buy, a few acres of land and put my tiny house on that. And we'll see what happens. But this is one of the cities that I can see myself living in. Probably not in Boulder proper. I'm sure there's no land that I could have and build a tiny house on. But I do love this city. I don't know, maybe I could investigate, maybe there's something a few hours away, 2 hours at most, where I can just find some land and build a homestead on that and just have this at my ready when I want to come in town, do some hiking, experiencing some good food and good people. Yeah, so that's the update. I'm really in gratitude right now in terms of living this nomadic lifestyle. I initially, when I left in the latter part of 2020 to get on the road, I was thinking, let's take a 12-month journey and just see how things go. And I ended up falling in love with this nomadic lifestyle. And I'm feeling in gratitude. I went for a hike yesterday in the Flatirons in the mountains of Boulder here, and just really enjoyed that walk. Met some cool people out there. Just got a chance to chat with some people on the hike there. And then on the way back, I decided I would get some Thai food. And I went to a great place. It's Buddha something. I'll put a little clip in. But anyway, I love that place. Oh my God, I love Thai food. Anyway, but this place, if you're ever in Boulder, Colorado, check out Buddha. Thai cuisine, I think it is. Check it out. Yesterday, I was sitting at a traffic light and I'm like, why did I do this, when I graduated college? Why didn't I just take the time to just, experience life at that point? And of course you can't go back and change things in your life. Everything that has happened in my life has happened for a reason, and it's made me who I am today. But I look back and it's like, there were opportunities where I could have done a nomadic lifestyle, but I think the number one thing was fear. That's the big thing. I think fear stops us from doing a lot of things in life. And I allowed fear to stop me back then. The whole thing, my mindset back then was, I wanted to get the good job coming out of college, eventually get married, have the 2.1 kids, the dog and the cat, and the house with the picket fence. I was chasing that dream, and that was never my dream, but I thought it was. And yeah. So after years and years of chasing that dream, I finally feel like I'm in a place where I'm really happy in my life, doing what I love, not worried about what society says or how they say I should live. I'm living life on my own terms, untethered. Yes, thus the name of my channel. So again, we're off. Probably gonna stay here another couple days, and then we're off further west. And eventually, hopefully by this time next week, I'll be in California wine country. All right, folks, I trust that you are enjoying your day today and doing well. And I hope you continue to stay well and stay peaceful. See you down the road. So I joined WeWork with the intent of, I gotta start all over again. I gotta start fresh. I don't need to say that. They know what channel this is. I have to chuckle to myself sometimes. Some of the things that make me chuckle. Some of my bad humor. I just came from Starbucks here locally, and I was going to pay, and I wasn't sure if you could tap your card on the reader or you had to insert it or whatever. And the woman behind the counter said, "You can tap it if you like." And I had to chuckle to myself. And I almost said, that's what she said, like The Office. But she's chuckled too, and I'm like, oh, is she chuckling at the same thing I'm chuckling at?